With the 54th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select. Wait a second. That's in the future. Let's take a moment to talk about the past. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Billievers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this pre-draft edition of Billievers Talk, where we take a look at the 2020 Buffalo Bills NFL Draft coming up and ask ourselves, what are the Buffalo Bills going to do? Again, thank you for joining me on Billievers Talk. My name is Joe. If you're new to this channel, guys, please be sure to hit that subscribe button as we continue to keep you up to date on all Buffalo Bills news as we lead into the draft. 15 days away until the NFL Draft. You want to make sure you're subscribed. After you hit that subscribe button, you want to hit that notification bell as we get closer to the draft. I will be posting more videos. You guys want to be notified. YouTube will notify you when we post new videos. So go ahead and hit that notification bell. While you're here, hit that thumbs up button, give this video a like, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think the Buffalo Bills are going to do with the 54th overall pick. Again, guys, as I said in the intro, I'm looking forward to the draft, as I'm sure all of you are too. However, I thought we would take a step back, look back in the past a little bit, and ask ourselves, A, have the Buffalo Bills ever drafted at 54 before? If they have, who have they picked up? My thumbnail should give this one away. And B, what has the recent history been for the 54th overall pick? What have the players been in the NFL? Have they been great players? Have there been busts, studs? What have we got with the 54th overall pick? Now, if you are a fan of this channel, I do believe that the Buffalo Bills will be moving up at some point in day 2, whether it be round 2 or round 3. Maybe they'll even have 2 picks in round 2 using their 54th and then trading up back into the second round later. I don't know. I just feel like they're going to trade up a little bit on day 2. Obviously, we don't have a round 1 draft pick that was spent on the Stephon Diggs trade made earlier in March. But that's okay. We got a great wide receiver out of the deal, so we'll look forward to this 54th overall pick. Like Brandon Beane said, when our pick comes in the first round, just watch some Stephon Diggs highlights and you'll be happier for it. So we look forward to having the 54th pick on day 2 in the second round. So let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills obviously have the 54th overall pick this season. Have they ever had the 54th overall pick before? And the answer is yes, one time. One time in their past have the Buffalo Bills had the 54th overall pick. And if you looked at the thumbnail before you clicked on the video, I kind of gave away who it was. With the 54th overall pick in the 1991 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills selected defensive end Phil Hansen. Now, if you were a fan of the Buffalo Bills in the early 90s, you can't start too many conversations without including Phil Hansen about that Buffalo Bills defense. We all know that Bruce Smith, of course, was that anchor, but Phil Hansen was the guy on the other side making sure that Bruce Smith did not face too many double teams, and if he did, he made sure opposing teams paid for it. In fact, Phil Hansen is third in history for the Buffalo Bills in sacks behind Bruce Smith and Aaron Schobel with 61.5 sacks to his credit. Phil Hansen, if you go to New Era Field, you'll see his name on the Wall of Fame there in Buffalo. Well-deserved as well. Like I said, third all-time in Bills history with 61.5 sacks. Also had 634 tackles in his career. Played 11 seasons in the NFL. All 11 seasons with our Buffalo Bills. And if you want to have some fun with the tape, go back to some hits that Phil Hansen put on Tom Brady early in Tom Brady's career. It's not a bad time. It's always a fun watch, but you gotta love Phil Hansen, what he did for the Buffalo Bills, being a part of 3 of those 4 Super Bowl teams in the early 90s. Just a really good guy overall and a good athlete, a good football player. Proud to say that he was a Buffalo Bill. Let me know what you think about Phil Hansen. Maybe a memory that you have of Phil Hansen in the comment section. Were you a fan of Phil Hansen, or did you think that Phil Hansen got too much credit just because he was lined up on the opposite end of Bruce Smith? I always liked Phil Hansen. I think he actually got too little credit for all that he did for the Buffalo Bills defense. So if you look at the Buffalo Bills history, they did draft 54th one time before. And if we match that production, right, if it doesn't matter if it's defensive end, corner, running back, if we can get someone that puts up the type of production at their position that Phil Hansen did at his, we will be in great shape in the future. So let's talk about the NFL, the last 10 seasons of NFL drafting. who has been the selection at 54 and what has their NFL shaped up to be. We'll start with 2010, and I'm not going to lie, guys, this might be my favorite draft pick out of all of them at the number 54 spot over the past 10 years. In 2010, the Cincinnati Bengals picked up Carlos Dunlap with the 54th overall pick. And since the 2010 NFL draft, he has only played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And Carlos Dunlap, although not always a household name, very talented. 111 starts for the Cincinnati Bengals, 24 fumbles, 9 fumble recoveries, 81.5 sacks, and 472 tackles. So pretty good numbers for a guy picked in 2010. You talk about Phil Hansen having 61.5 sacks and being third all-time in Bills history. This guy, in his 10-year career, has 81.5 sacks, and he's not done yet. So Carlos Dunlap, probably my favorite 54th pick over the last 10 years. Again, if whoever the Buffalo Bills draft matches his production in 10 years, I'm going to be pretty happy with whoever we pick up. 2011, the Philadelphia Eagles picked up Jaquan Jarrett, defensive back in 5 seasons in the NFL. He played in 47 games, 2 interceptions, 2 pass deflections, 2.5 sacks, 83 tackles. In 2012, the Detroit Lions selected Ryan Broyles, wide receiver, 3 seasons in the league, 32 receptions, 420 yards, and 2 touchdowns. In 2013, Jamar Taylor was taken by the Miami Dolphins at cornerback, now with the Atlanta Falcons. In his career, he's played 90 games with 41 starts, 3 interceptions, 31 pass deflections, and 242 tackles. And then in 2014, a name that some of you might remember, a name that for a year or two was a key to the Tennessee Titans offense, but that's how bad the Tennessee Titans offense can be. In 2014, the Tennessee Titans, with the 54th overall pick, select running back Bishop Sankey. Only played the NFL for 2 seasons, in 2014, 2015. In 29 games, he started 12 of those games, rushed for 199 rushes for 762 yards. So he had a short career, short sample size. Unfortunately, injuries kind of took their toll on Bishop Sankey. Went to Minnesota, and they put him in the IR. I believe it was in 2017, and we haven't heard anything of his NFL career since. In 2015, it's another running back-to-back years of the running back. Maybe the Bills will find themselves a running back this year with the 54th overall pick, and that's Amir Abdullah, picked up by the Detroit Lions, now with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not going to lie, guys, if the Buffalo Bills select running back with the 54th overall pick, I hope that whoever it is does better than both Amir Abdullah and Bishop Sankey did as they were drafted with the 54th overall pick. Amir Abdullah has played in 58 games, all 22 starts. He has 22 starts, but they were all in the first 3 seasons of his career with the Detroit Lions. He is now with the Minnesota Vikings. In his career, he has 350 rushes for 1,366 yards and 6 touchdowns, 73 receptions as well for 518 yards and 4 touchdowns. 2016, the Minnesota Vikings get the 54th overall pick, and they select Mackenzie Alexander, now with the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's not the last time you'll be hearing the Cincinnati Bengals name on this list. Played in 55 games. He has started 10, 2 interceptions, 21 pass deflections, 4.5 sacks, 103 tackles. In 2017, the Miami Dolphins have the 54th overall pick, and they select Raekwon McMillan, inside linebacker. He has started 28 games. He started 12 of those 28 in 2019. He has 177 total tackles for his career, with 8 of those tackles being tackles for a loss. Still young in his career, right? Drafted in 2017, still on that rookie deal. So we'll see if he continues to improve. Obviously, he has some tools to be an NFL player. He has 28 starts under his belt in 3 seasons. So maybe this is just the beginning for Raekwon McMillan. Then 2018, the Cincinnati Bengals, you hear that name again, pick up Jesse Bates. And Jesse Bates might be the 2nd best player on this list. Let me know again what you think in the comment section. Who was your favorite player over the last 10 years that's been drafted at number 54? Jesse Bates has started all 32 games for the Cincinnati Bengals since being drafted in 2018. So far in his career, he has 6 interceptions. He had 3 in 2018, 3 more in 2019. One of those interceptions returned for a touchdown. 16 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 211 tackles. He has had tackles of over 100 tackles in both seasons so far. So pretty impressive stuff from Jesse Bates. The last guy was the guy picked 54th overall just last season. That's Lonnie Johnson of the Houston Texans. Cornerback, played 14 regular season games last season. He started 7 of them, 7 pass deflections to his name, and 41 tackles. But the rookie's biggest boom last season came in the playoffs after the Houston Texans beat the Buffalo Bills in the wild card round. They went to play Kansas City Chiefs. In that game, there was a blocked punt. A blocked punt recovered by Lonnie Johnson and then returned for a touchdown. So even though the Houston Texans didn't win that game, kind of helps the rookie go off on a high note. A nice way to end your rookie season, returning a punt for a touchdown. So those were the last 10 picks at the number 54 position. Again, we'll go through them real quick. Carlos Dunlap, probably my favorite pick at number 54. Jaquan Jarrett, Ryan Broyles, Jamar Taylor, Bishop Sankey, Amir Abdullah, Mackenzie Alexander, Raquan McMillan, Jesse Bates III. That's probably my second favorite name on this list. And then Lonnie Johnson, just last season. So again, guys, let me know who your favorite pick was of the last 10 years at the number 54 position. Let me know what you guys think about Phil Hansen. Again, the Buffalo Bills once have picked at 54. If we can match that production, if we can get the same production that we did out of Phil Hansen out of the next guy that we pick at 54, I think we're going to like the pick. I think we're going to like the pick. And guys, remember, I will be keeping you updated on all NFL draft coverage, Buffalo Bills draft coverage. I will be doing a full first-round mock draft and a full Buffalo Bills mock draft with trades included. So you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm going to continue to give you a history of all the Buffalo Bills draft picks. The next one is going to be a lot of fun. So I look forward to seeing you then. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.